Welcome back to this Let's Play of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. Last time we had a little showdown between Kreia and Atris regarding what happened to Atris, and Kreia more or less accuses her of falling to the dark side, and Atris doesn't really dispute it. These red things in Atris' meditation chamber here are Sith holocrons, which are essentially recording devices and playback devices, though they record more than just voices. They record sort of emotions and concepts, and it's more like talking to a person than just listening to something. But we're going to have our own showdown with Atris, and I'm going to, it won't be much of a fight, let's just put it that way.
She said you would come here, to this place. If you think you can defeat me here, you are wrong. All this collected knowledge, all these teachings of combat and the Force, they're mine to command. And if I must use it to end you, I will. Surrender. You need not die.
And, you can tell her, you can ask her to surrender, and just sort of counter-offer.
Surrender? To you? Never. Let us end this!
Alright, so I'll fire off Force Enlightenment, which gives me my... And then we'll let loose a little flurry.
Kill me. End this.
Well, that wasn't easy. That was just stupid. Yeah, all her bluffs. Anyway, and we can choose not to kill a helpless opponent. You actually don't get any light side or dark side points for any conversation options here, so I'm just acting light side for the sake of acting light side.
I did not expect mercy from you, here at the end, after all that has happened between us.
And, we need answers.
Of course. There is still something you need from me.
The sound there was subtitle Hissing of Sith Holocrons. And, well, we kind of want to know where Kreia is.
Where she walks is hidden from my eyes, but not from those of her kind. It is possible I may draw one last piece of knowledge from these holocrons. You always knew where they were striking from. You always knew. These Sith are spawned of you. Spawned by the Mandalorian Wars. All those deaths, all those Jedi. Their power is to feed on life, until nothing is left except a hollow galaxy, echoing with the screams of the Jedi lost to us.
Alright, well, I guess that's all we needed to know.
And what will you do with me now? Abandon me here on this dead world, or end my life as I wish to end yours?
And you can essentially take the ultimate light side option here and do nothing except apologize for, causing this whole mess.
It does not matter. Not now. It is what I did with such pain that caused the wound. But I thank you. Leave now, while you can. Save Telos. Save the galaxy. Save yourself. No, I could not bring myself to tell her. It would have changed nothing. And because I was afraid. You know what lies at the heart of Malachor 5. I had thought it was in the past, yet it has become the future. And all that has happened there will happen again. And that is why I cannot bear it. Because it is Malachor 5. And because she was lost there once. And I fear she will be lost again. I do not understand why the Sith permit such teachings to exist. They cause only echoes, wounds in the Force. A beacon? For who?
And this is restored content. We missed a whole bunch of movies there, just showing the the Ebon Hawk driving around, and also a large quasi-Star Destroyer type ship moving towards the planet of Telos, with the Citadel station obvious on it. That's the Ravager. We'll deal with that in a second. For now, we have to deal with the HK factory. And I'm going to mess with HK-47's equipment. You do get your the lightsaber you sort of designed at the start of the game back at this point, but I really don't care. I've got more than enough lightsabers, so I don't know why I really even thought about it. Oh well. Be right back. Now, I guess if you hadn't sort of been expecting this, then this could be a problem. Unfortunately, I've been setting up equipment for HK-47 on the hope of actually running into this area, and I guess it's finally paying off. I have a whole sort of assortment of droid deflector shields we can mess with. Anyway, we are here at the underground base on Telos. So actually, if you really were short on stuff, presumably you could just run back to the workbench down there and do whatever you wanted.
Statement. The turbolift has been accessed, but no organics or hostiles have been detected entering the complex. Query. Is there a sensor malfunction? Irritated statement. The probability of such a malfunction is extremely low. Order. Run a scan of all units within the complex. Processing. Scan commencing. Result. Only HK units detected. Premonition. Something is wrong. Very wrong.
Alright. And that just tells you about the double-bladed lightsaber we picked up. Anyway, there are some turrets here.
Target acquired. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
And, honestly, HK-47 is not super well equipped. I really didn't, I was sort of inconsistent on how I built them, but you should be good.
Ratio achieved.
This Charik rifle I have is, it's okay. This blast door here says that it's magnetically sealed. It cannot be opened unless there's a loss of power. Huh. Well, let's start exploring.
Unnecessary statement. That is Unit HK-47. Unnecessary addendum. He has entered our base. Dismissive statement. It does not matter. He is obsolete. He can no more harm us than he could harm himself. The military droids will be more than sufficient to intercept the obsolete unit and reduce him to component parts.
Okay, well, I don't think he's that weak. These force fields, I guess you just click on them. Well, we don't have a lightsaber to knock them down with, but okay.
Optimal accuracy ratio achieved. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved. Readiness set to maximum. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
And apparently these things do pretty pathetic damage because they haven't even gotten through that first shield yet. Which is good because, well...
accuracy ratio achieved.
Oh, there it goes. I have a whole bunch of construction kits too, for repairs. So, I think I'm more than well prepared. I also made up a whole bunch of deadly plasma mines, which are sort of the cheapest and most effective mines. Well, I don't know, cheapest. They're the most sort of bang for buck mines, though I don't know how many things actually resist fire damage, so... What's this maintenance droid here? Okay, well, hi to you too. Thermal detonators. Thermal detonators in this game are really kind of depressing because they're really not that useful. Droid multispectral emitter. Ooh, hey. Essentially it does 100 damage, unless they make a save, in which case it does 50. And so even if they constantly make their save, it's still quite a decent weapon. And I have two of them, I should probably just use them. I do about 50 damage with my normal attacks anyways. Plus more if the assassination protocols trigger. Alright, well there's a security terminal here. We'll turn off the communications. That's one of the options. The other option requires 5 computer
Query.
spikes. I don't want to do it
I do not
just
understand
randomly.
what that is intended to accomplish. Tactical analysis. Perhaps he seeks to reduce our morale, to unnerve us. Diagnostic. I do not feel any different. My morale, if I still have it, still feels intact. Query. Then what was the purpose? It makes no sense.
I don't know. It was a button I could push, and I don't know. When life presents buttons, you push them. Uploading the area schematics I'm not really all that worried about. Oh good, the Circlet of Suresh. If you remember that item from the first game, it's fairly good. It gives +5 wisdom, but it looks disgustingly stupid. Maybe I'll give it to, Kreia or Visas, just as a, well, I guess, I don't know, maybe I won't have an option to give it to Kreia, just because whatever headwear they equip doesn't actually show on their character. Statement, hello.
HK-50 statement. So you have finally arrived. There was a high probability that you would find this place, even with your primitive tracking programs. Statement. Your arrival means nothing. You cannot harm us any more than you could harm yourself. Chiding statement. To think we were built from such schematics. I would flush red if we had Durasteel pigmentation centers.
Okay. In a statement, enough talking. Assassination protocols initiated.
Smug statement. You cannot fire. Your archaic attack protocols are useless against us. Smug revelation. Your behavior core self-preservation programs prevent it. To kill us would be to kill yourself. Superior statement. This information may be difficult for your substandard core to process, but you cannot deny that your motivators have locked, and you cannot depress the firing stud of your weapon. Statement. So, I cannot harm you. Statement. That is correct. Conclusion. And you cannot harm me. Irritated statement. That is what we said, obsolete unit. There must be a delay in your processors. Statement. Then that is all I need to know. Confused query. Where are you going? Ineffectual command. Stop! Ineffectual command. We command you to stop. Statement. But you said so yourself. You have just admitted your own weakness. Conclusion. You have just shown me your soft, meatbag-like underbellies and said, HK-47, please shoot me repeatedly there until I die. Statement. You cannot stop me. You cannot harm me. In order to do that, I would need to end my self-preservation programming. Conclusion. I would need to stop being one of you. I have concluded that this is something I am willing to accept. Statement. You cannot change your own programming. Statement. Even if you could, there is not time. Statement. We shall see.
But we shall see in the next episode, because we're out of time.